weekly outline online, but I will go through the weekly outline on the board. You are, again, with me for 2 hours today, seeing that forward testing is going on in ELA this week. Yeah, so obviously online students, you aren't gonna be able to see it. You're just gonna have to listen to me. So today we are measuring marigolds and finishing the Amphibian Organ Systems Project. Live remote students, that is located for you in today's folder. It is titled Amphibian Organ Systems Project. You can either print that out and draw that on there. You can draw it in your science notebook, draw these organ systems in your science notebook. Or you could attempt to draw online, but I know most of you have touchpads, and that doesn't really work when you draw. I don't know, I guess some people are better at it than others. Like if you had a mouse, it might be easier, but yeah, so those are your options. You can either notebook, print it out and draw it on there, or try to do it online. Okay, and then tomorrow we will watch Eyewitness Amphibians. We will take a quiz on all these organ systems, okay, that we started on Friday, right? No, we started these last Tuesday.
Monday.
Yeah, Tuesday. The quiz will be open notes. So the better that you draw and label today, the better that you're going to do on your quiz, okay? Everybody understand? We want you to be successful here. So you'll be doing open notes quiz. That is tomorrow. And then Wednesday, now for real, we are having the textbook assignment quiz. Everybody see all the textbook assignments on the board?
Okay.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Say yes, I see them, or no, I don't.
Yes.
Okay. I sent a picture of these to everybody's email. Some of us regularly check our email, some of us don't. Okay, when you see emails, you should at least read them. Not all of them garner a response, but please read them. These are all the textbook assignments to my knowledge that we have done this quarter. And these are ones that will be on the quiz. Not every single one, right? But questions from each of those, like 1 or 2 questions from each of those assignments. Does that make sense? I got nothing. Does that make sense?
Oh, yes.
It either does make sense or I don't get it. I don't understand what you're saying. So right now, if you don't understand what I'm saying, would be the time to tell me. That's okay. If you don't, I'll try to. Okay. So Wednesday, we have that open notes assignment or quiz. That'd be on your own. If you've been doing your textbook assignments, you're fine. If you haven't, guess what? You can still catch up. You can still go back and do all the textbook assignments. Where would you find those? Yeah.
Isn't there a folder called like Wednesday assignments or something?
There's a folder called Older Stuff on Schoology. So somewhat similar. So say you forgot to do like 1 or 2 or 9 of them, and you would like to not get a 0 on the upcoming quiz. How can you how can you do those textbook assignments? I would go to Older Stuff. Here is a folder in Older Stuff titled Textbook Assignments from Earlier Weeks. And it goes in order. The only one I'm missing is 232 and 233. Why? Because we did that one in class together. So I watched all of you write it down. 230 and 231. All these are here. All the pictures. There's me reading through every single one of them. I think the only one missing is 216 and 217. I don't know where it is. Okay. But you can also borrow a textbook if you need to. Anybody thinking they're going to need to do that? Okay. All right. So that's coming up Wednesday. Then Thursday and Friday, you will not be in here. Okay. Cool. Yes, James, you have ELA for 2 hours at 6th hour for sure. Then with that, I'll let you get into marigolds. So go ahead and start measuring those. Make sure that we are finding the averages.
the table.
Last year,
Yeah.
You will.
Oh, the turn of the table.
Parker, I feel like you and I were the same height.
Yours are not.
Uh-oh. What is that? I have no idea.
But now,
That's all I got.
Parker,
Yeah.
Parker, you'll get your growth here.
Sorry, Chris doesn't get so.
Yeah.
Stop. Sorry for that.
It's better than that, but it might- Yeah, I know. I've noticed. Oh, you already said. What's today's date? 22nd.
How the turn, the table,
On the turns of table.
the tables have turned. Which one are you? The tables have turned, but the turns have tabled.
The turns of table. On the turns of table. On the, of the table. The.
We already have the sheet.
No.
Oh, okay.
This is weird. You guys
Of the turns of table.
I went to my grandma's farm. My dad's grandpa. We were walking around the barn. Anybody's barn? I like barns. Never seen it.
Good.
My sister. My sister is sick.
There's a walk.
I know.
Just say.
My name is Mom.
Uh-huh.
Barn. And I walked around.
I'm like,
No, I walked around the farm. And I went into the barn. And it was packed. Like, there's nothing.
Like, you
I
don't
was
want
walking
to.
around. There were.
oh, so then I have to use my
Here,
brain.
centimeters.
There were
This
stairs.
thing is,
Wait,
And stickers.
I haven't even seen the data.
Especially.
Uh, 26, wow.
You live.
In
Right on a
2021.
pit inside.
Used to science teacher, Mr. Dayton.
Because
6 weeks.
I know.
Okay, you wanna measure now?
I didn't.
Make sure you're noticing any differences.
So I need like.
What?
I think this is your pen. Oh, this is mine.
Good morning.
Hi.
You've got a copy of the test, right?
I don't.
Okay, well, here's a copy. of the
Okay,
test.
thanks.
Number
And here's the answers.
Hey, all right.
one.
Oh, my God.
Okay?
All right, thank
And
you.
because he said after he's done, you wanted me to tell you after he's done doing
Number
all of
two.
this,
Yeah.
he's gonna go review, be
Number three.
reviewing.
Okay.
And then I asked him, I said, are we gonna let him use the notes for their test?
I don't think you count.
And he
that.
said, Oh, I think I said, I think we should let them. So he said, okay.
Five.
I think so too.
All right.
Yep, thank you.
How many are number four?
I have 6 and above.
Zero.
Okay, how many are number nine?
6.
How many are number 6?
Four.
4.
Measure. Alright,
These balls of powder, I think I'll control one.
5.5.
I slept.
You mean like in
I fell asleep at like 8.
What?
This one's 6.
It was pretty.
Exactly.
I think you're the smallest.
Not
6.
This one's
Yeah.
7.
7.
6.
What's the number 4?
It's just about 8.
Okay, number 4 is 8.
No, that's 0.
Oh, that's 0. Number 5 is 8. What number 6?
6.
Arial 1, 2.
0.
My roots are sticking up kind of
Number 5 is 8.
on one.
That's roots.
This one's mouse is.
How many weeks are on variable 1?
About
3.
4 months.
How many are number 2?
Let's see what 0 for that one is.
Is it 1,000?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6. How many are number 3?
3, 4, 6, 7, 8.
Look up
8.
people
How many are number 4?
Just do it.
4,
You wanna see it?
3,
I'm sure it's gonna scare me.
8 are number
No.
What are they doing with Marigolds?
4.
They're dying.
5. How many are number 6?
Controls like
None.
completely dying out. Marigolds just.
How many are number variable 1?
Austin, you guys
Controls
use
being in there, I guess.
Green height.
Those are dying.
number
Was
of
it?
on
It's
mine.
Wasn't control the one without fertilizer?
1 centimeter.
Control is without fertilizer, yes.
Well,
Seven.
control seems to be dying.
Seven. What's
Oh,
You're gonna laugh at this.
what?
It's 11.
Is
They're
11? How many are number 4?
New page.
3.
3.
How
What's
many
number
do I
5?
count for this one?
8. What's number 6?
1, 2, 3, 4,
Huh?
5, 6, 7, 8,
Okay.
9, 10.
Before you submit that, you should write that down.
1, 2, 3, 4,
You
5,
know
6,
those
Okay.
plants we
7, 8,
planted
9,
in,
10, 11, 12,
Oh, God.
13, 14.
Here, you
That
write
all,
it down.
and I-
Copy of yours.
Oh, you can write it down with you.
what about them?
Mine's
are they growing?
Okay.
I think some of them are.
Mine,
Yeah, you
No.
can read it.
2 haven't grown yet.
So what's the date today?
I haven't.
Okay, you can
Just
write
run them
this.
on leaves.
Whose date today?
Okay, 04, 26.
0, 8, 0, 4, 6, 0, 10, 8, 0,
You can
6.
read this.
Oh,
Pretty much my child does.
Wait, is that A or is that?
24.
Or what?
Not
So,
like
That's
probably
an
a
eight.
red light.
I know
is that
I
leaves?
grew
Yes, this is
from
me.
last year, I grew
Alright,
about
6, hey, come on.
Okay, can you?
Okay.
Two.
Alright.
They're the one.
Taller than my mom and dad.
You put 0 leaves?
I'm.
6.
Oh,
I was not even well,
Alright,
Yeah, my mom and my dad.
Yeah.
Number 3 is 5.
5.
I think 4 is 0.
Oh,
5 is 6.
yeah. See, that one should have
And
two.
6 is 4.
That one, and 1, 2, 3.
I said 0 for these two.
Fine.
'Cause
Five.
they're basically dead.
Girls are doing.
Oh, I thought you were reading it.
Oh, I can control 1, 5. I can control 2, 6.
I wouldn't say we
I
should.
can control 3, 7.
I guess.
I can control 4, 0.
It's just horrible.
I can control
Don't control.
8. I can control
Wait,
6.
what?
I can control 5, 2.
Two pairs.
I can control 6.
For the top left one, what's the number of leaves and
No,
the.
what about the others?
Thank you.
I'm just gonna go through these first. And I'm 6.
Number of leaves on variable 1, 3. Number of leaves on variable 2, 3.
16.
I want to sit
Number
down.
of leaves on variable 3,
Well, it's only
8.
you
Number
problem.
of leaves on variable 4,
I wanna sit
Number of
down.
leaves on variable
Oh, this
5.
one's.
8.
You're going past, I'm confused.
Okay, number 4, that's 4.
9.
Wait,
Variable 5
yeah.
has 8.
Weeds.
Number 6 has 2.
6.2.
I'm not confused on that.
5.7.
Centimeters.
Parker.
Height of variable 1 is
Yeah,
1.
which,
Height of variable 2.
Yeah, sit
Height
down.
of variable 3, 11. Height of variable 4, 3. Height of variable 5, 3. Height of variable 6, 0.
6 leaves.
Alright.
Parker.
5 leaves.
Did you notice anything?
Yes, one is insane.
1, 2, 3,
6,
4, 5, 6,
4.
7,
Okay.
8.
There ain't no way.
1,
6, 5, 4, 7.
Holy cow, this one's packing a lot.
then.
Look at it. Grew 2 leaves and it was 5.5, but now it's 7.3.
Very.
When you are done, you can come grab your packet from me.
7, 8.
What is today? Is today the 25th?
It's the 26th of April.
Wow.
Of what year?
2021.
5, 6, 7, 8.
When you are done, I'll know you're done because you come up here and grab the packet.
Is.
Of what? Sure. Like,
Yours are doing good like height wise, but mine have a lot more leaves with the
6.
fertilizer.
Like, for height.
Same with Parker too.
Okay.
Oh, I only had 2 weeds in my really tall one. And then only 1 was here, which I get.
No, but like, how many, like, the
fertilizer
fertilizer helps.
That boy. Make L.
God, these things are tall. Soon enough, these things are gonna be taller.
Are you done with them now?
That's really sweet.
You know, it's quite funny that my mouse isn't working. I'm trying to think.
Okay, submit.
My 6-year-old sister
Okay, different.
is like half as tall as me. And she's about to weigh much.
You're like,
I'm going to eat so much. Alright.
No, Parker doesn't eat enough. Parker's like 95
No, I
pounds.
do. Oh,
yeah,
less than that.
Like 80?
What? I eat vegetables. Vegetables.
Oh, yeah. No? Okay. So when you take one of these, put your name on it. First period, the date is 4/26. You done?
Huh?
Are you ready to grab this?
Not yet.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's go.
Okay.
And my,
These are the ones that have like.
There you go. What's that? These are big questions.
that's a good question.
You follow directions.
Oh, we're playing rugby.
Yeah.
No, we done
come
it
on.
already.
Yeah.
We better not be playing that
I'm
stuff.
No.
I wish.
What's the point of playing rugby? Not to tackle?
All right.
There was tackle and rugby.
How's your weekend?
If there's tackle,
We also have
you
like
beat down
punter
right around the eye.
and
Both can go back.
If there was tackle, it'd be
Most of the
piggyback
kids
tackle.
in my gym class are
How do you guys play?
not really
You guys have, you
They
guys,
or
play
scary.
You got that.
whatever, watch your glasses.
Yeah, but I
You're gonna
never
rip them off
end
your
up
head,
going
put them in your
against them,
backpack
you
until
know?
after gym class.
Oh, that's good.
Good idea.
Or shove it
I mean, it's not like he scares me.
You know on the far side where the doors are, where the curtain is,
Right?
like there, people
I
running
mean,
in there, and then people try to push them into the wall, like angles, and you just keep running and say,
Gaiden.
touch me the floor.
Anybody that was not here, you can catch up by drawing A and B. The A and B, we have the male reproductive system and the female reproductive system. And you should draw and label them and practice developing using models. This is a frog. What's up?
Gives us to give them
Mhm.
Oh,
There you go.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I think it's in my color.
Yeah, I don't see yours, so check yours.
You can't be whatever you want.
I want to be a fire
I wanna be Elon Musk's, or Elon Musk car. He took it to space.
Oh, that car.
Yeah, that car.
Yeah. He strapped a car to the top of a rocket and he flew into space.
That's what I wanna do. Strap myself
How does
to a
it
rocket.
like all doing like Charles or whatever? Get like just like instant.
Mhm. Okay,
I don't
someone
know
who
if people
looks
like
like that.
that.
Yeah, I've never seen it like that.
Oops, sorry.
I have one time.
Actually, that's. It was like a game.
The only thing my sister ever watched is like Supernatural. That's all she's ever into. I wouldn't even do that. I trust you. I'm pretty sure my phone would be at the moment.
No.
working, Parker.
I know, it's so weird. A lot of mine are dead.
I know.
I think we need to get you new seeds. That sounds so bad. What?
You like,
It's Jack Down moment.
I hate that so much. It's from the monster. Hello. I'm talking about
what about discus?
What?
I realized how hard it
It
was.
sounds like the freaking crackers you would put in that snack. Not like the biscuits thing.
All I see on my For You page is how long is your middle finger and how long is your pinky finger. That's all it is. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
What?
Just go like that. Yeah, just go like that. Just
Wait, hold on.
measure from the bottom.
Anybody else has like their right,
Proof
Very.
the
ring finger
government
kind of
owns
like
children.
bent?
That is true. All ones have like a it's a circle.
Wait, where?
Right here on the bottom.
Oh, that come on,
Parker, you
like,
done yet?
it's a-
Oh, dang near.
Okay.
On the last measuring.
Okay, good. Do you have it? Can someone help him enter it in the Google form, please? Zach, go
I
ahead.
can do it myself.
Well, yeah, but we need to move on. So Zach, I need you to help. I need you to do that.
Okay.
Are you done yet?
I just need to get the average.
No, the
Okay,
government
find the
is
average.
money on this
Sounds good.
fish.
What?
I know it. So there's such fish that's called sheephead. They have rocks in their head.
What does it
They
say
have
right
letters
under
on them.
that?
You didn't even
Fat
do the
bodies.
uncontrolled.
Uncontrolled? Uncontrolled is just four.
Four for you.
Yep, the big ones.
Do you have
There are
yours?
four for each
Okay, so
particular.
you gotta collect it. There you go.
Then all the rest.
I don't know.
I don't know how to do that so fast.
What's because we're not talking about.
I mean, I can talk and stuff.
What do you think is it?
$40.
Isn't that just a biscuit? Or biscuit?
Biscuits.
Biscuit?
Done yet?
No.
Okay.
A biscuit is like a 2 pound.
Tell them where to do.
Your goal is to go as far as you can. Your highest is 62.
Highest, like how high?
No, how far?
60.
I don't understand.
I'm not becoming John Wick and I'm not.
Okay, so we're gonna get started. Or kind of review. So for A and B, on A we have the male reproductive system of a frog. Okay, make sure your name's on that. Okay, and then B we have the female reproductive system of a frog. Remember, we are looking at a frog as if it were laying with its back on a dissection tray, so it's opened up to you with its stomach facing upwards, or ventral side up, right? Ventral. Okay, and this is about the mid of the body, middle portion of the body. Okay, we start with over here in the male. These bean-shaped structures that are darker, these are the testes, and these are what contain where sperm is produced. Okay, so I labeled these number 1. You can go back here on number 1 and write testes. Now, you don't have to follow my labeling system exactly. That's up to you. As long as you know what you're looking at and looking for. So, I'm going to find something harder to write on so it doesn't. Okay, 1 is the testes. Then I labeled these tubes, the seminal vesicles. Those are the tubes or the vesicles that serve as a vehicle, that's how I remember it, for the sperm to be taken to the cloaca. The sperm comes from the testes to the seminal vesicles. I labeled those number 2. Okay. Okay. Number 3 is the cloaca. The cloaca is the organ or the function or structure, in which things are excreted from the frog in both males and females. So you'll notice the cloaca over here, I also have labeled number 3. There's no need to label a female and male cloaca or cloaca something different. Okay, the cloaca is where the sperm in the male is excreted and the eggs in the female are excreted. Also where their fecal matter and urine comes out of. So it serves a lot of purposes. That's number 3. Okay. Number 4, I put fat bodies. These are these finger-like, spaghetti-like structures at the top of the testes, attached to the testes and attached to the egg sacs on both the males and the females. The females have egg sacs or ovaries, males have testes. We learned about that in our warm-up questions today. Okay. And we knew that from last time. So 4 is fat bodies. And those, okay, fat is used as a source of energy for the frog during mating, during hibernation, during metamorphosis. Okay. They serve that purpose. Fat can be used as energy. All right, we're moving on to number 5. That's the egg sacs or the ovaries. Okay. Big sacs in the female. The more eggs they have, the larger they'll be, and they can take up a greater portion of the body. Okay, so that's number 5. And then number 6 is the oviducts or oviducts. Okay, now like the seminal vesicle takes the sperm to the cloaca, the oviducts take eggs to the cloaca. Okay, so 5 was egg sacs or ovaries. 6 is oviducts. And those take so quickly. I'm going to do this on the back. The system. We are in reproductive. Okay, and then here, I'll just do this. The reproductive system. Okay, the organ that I'm going to talk about. All right, testes. Produce sperm. You won't find this in a female. So I'll just write male reproductive. And then we have seminal vesicles. Carry and hold sperm. Okay. And we have cloaca was one of them. Sorry, the organ. Which excretes sperm. Okay, and then we have fat bodies. These are used for energy in mating, hibernation, metamorphosis. So that was the male. And then the female reproductive. System. Okay, we're talking the system now, right? Your organs are grouped together in systems and they work in systems. So too are frogs. Okay, they don't have testes, they have egg sacs. Okay, these hold and create eggs. The oviducts. These are tubes that carry the eggs. All right, and then they also, if you don't want to rewrite, you could just draw an arrow from the cloaca down to here, and the fat bodies down to here, because they are in both. Now, the thing you have to remember, the cloaca and the female does not make sperm or excrete sperm, excuse me, it excretes eggs. Okay, so you could put cloaca like this and then put the quotation marks, which excretes eggs, right? Just like you did up there. And then the fat bodies, you could just say fat bodies. You don't have to write that definition again. You don't have to write any of this at all, but this is how you will be successful on your quiz tomorrow. Okay, so online students, you can be typing this if you want to. You can be writing this in your notebook, however is best for you. Okay, so those are the reproductive systems, and that was a quick review. All right, I'll give you a little bit of time there, and I can walk around and help people as well. Online students, if you have a question, just shout it out.
I'm still writing it down. Can I reword it a little bit?
Yeah.
What do you think, Zach?
Probably.
Probably, whatever's going to help you the best, right? Yes. Organ. Organ, which excretes sperm, or structure, whatever you want. Whatever. All right, moving on. Something a little bit different. We're going to talk about the skeletal system, and I'm going to draw it along with you. I already have a copy of it, but I want to practice my drawing as well. So again, we're looking at a frog's skeletal system. So skeletal, skeleton, right? They have a skeleton. Here is what we're looking at. Right there. All right. And I'll be drawing it along with you. All right. And I'm going to start up at the top. That says skeletal system. Skeletal system. skeletal, skeletal system. Okay, up top we have the skull. What do you figure those super large holes are for? And what do you think, Sawyer?
Eyes.
Yeah, it's eyeballs, right? It's eyeballs. It has large eyes, and it needs large holes for those eyes to fit. Okay, the skull also can be known as the cranium. All right. Skeletal system. Oh, I'm looking for a. Here we go. Okay, then here, this where I would call the shoulder area, and it actually is their shoulder area, and it contains their clavicle and their scapula. Anyone ever heard of those words before? No, maybe. Clavicle is right here. Scapula is on the back part of your shoulder. Okay, that's their pectoral girdle. All right, all those lumped together. Okay, and then we have appendages. Appendages, right? We know those are extensions of a body. Really, those are its forelimbs and hind limbs or legs, right? We could get more specific, but we don't have to for this particular quiz. But they do have a femur like you do. These would be the long leg bones. They do have a humerus like you do, your funny bone. They have that as well. And then this is their radial ulna. Anyone know the two arm bones of your arm? You have a radius and an ulna. Okay. So they have a radial ulna. It's one that's fused together. And then down here, anyone know the names of your shin bones? You have two bones down there. You have a tibia and a fibula. Okay, and they have a tibiofibula. You don't have to write those. Okay, and then right here in the middle, we have the spinal column. Okay, and this contains spine, vertebrae, and ribs. Okay, so I'll give you some time to go over that. And just get that drawn. Oh my pencil broke. And basically, this. What do you think the function? What's the purpose of a skeleton or a skeletal system? What do you got, Parker?
To keep your body up, I would want to say, because if you didn't have a skeletal system, you'd just be a blob on the ground.
Right. Yeah. So, structure, support, right? Provides structure and some support. Frogs do not have a neck, which is interesting. Which does not allow them to turn their head. I don't know if you ever noticed that about a frog, if you got up close to it, maybe. But they can't. Okay, so their pectoral girdle here. I'm working on drawing this. Uh-oh. Ribs, James, ribs. I will write that down. Good. Okay. Okay. Oh, and then one thing I forgot to mention, their pelvic girdle. So they have a pectoral girdle, like you have pectoral muscles up here towards your chest, and then your pelvis is down here. It's your hips. Okay, so this would be like the frog's midsection and hips. And obviously, hopefully I'm guessing that you can see like the structure of the frog without all of its, outer body, but this looks like, its inner skeleton. Just like when you look at a human skeleton, you can tell it's a human, or usually we look at an animal skeleton and be able to tell that it's an animal. What animal it is, I should say. Then you can see it's super, well, it's elongated bones in its feet. And remember, they do have webbed feet.
Because we have ELA today, does that mean we're doing our last test?
Yes.
We have today's test and then tomorrow's test.
Unless we get some.
Yeah.
All right, so here's my drawing of it. I don't know. Anyone want to show theirs?
Sure.
Three.
Come on up. Let's see it. Okay, and then I'm going to label mine. Mine's
Wait,
not
to show your
perfect.
drawing?
Oh, nice. Wow.
Tracy found it.
Okay, so here we have the skull again. Protect the brain. If you would like to call it your cranium, that's awesome. Or its cranium, that's great. I'm going to call that number 7. Here we have this whole thing that contains the scapula and the clavicle and some things we're not going to go into. We're calling it the pectoral girdle, right? Pectoral. You can think of that as your shoulder bones. Number 8. Okay, number 9, we're looking at if you can do one of these fancy things. That is the spinal column. And that contains spine, vertebrae, ribs. Okay. They have 10 vertebrae, 10 set. So they have 8 here and 1 up here. Okay. And let's go with number 10 would be, oh, sorry, that was number 9. Number 10 is the pelvic girdle. That's all of this thing. So where the frog's hips are. Pelvic girdle. Number 10. Okay. And then we have 11. 11 is appendages. So you can point at here, here. Those are, oops, I gotta spell appendages. Number 11. Okay, everybody with me there? Okay, go on the back and write those in 7, 8, 10, 11. So that's 5 of them. And basically, if you would like to, on the back where it's asked you to write functions and stuff, maybe you've already done this. The skeletal systems function, basically all of them provide support or protection for organs, right? Support for the body. They attach to muscles and allow them to move, but they also provide protection. Okay, and you got to come up with ways to help you remember these things. Appendages, we remember this from not just frogs, from other animals that we've studied. Appendages are anything that extend from the body. So arms and legs definitely extend from the body. Those are appendages. And spinal column, that should be easy enough, right? Because it's where the spine would be located. All right. The skull, that should be easy enough. We have one of those. That's where your brain is and your head is. Ones that you might get confused are pectoral girdle and pelvic girdle. Now, how can you help yourself remember what's the difference between a pelvic girdle and a pectoral girdle? Go ahead, Aiden.
It's because from where the area is on the frog, because in like a normal human, the pelvic areas in the
Is that
legs.
Yep, your pelvic area in humans, correct, is your hips, right? Like here, there's my pelvis, right around here, okay? So if you can picture this as a human, right, this is where your hips would be. And up here is your pectoral girdle, or the frog's pectoral girdle. Your pectoral muscles are right here, okay? Up by your chest. So if that helps you to remember, that would be a good way to go about it, okay? What's that? 8 is pectoral girdle. Skull. Pectoral girdle. 9 is spinal column. 10, pelvic girdle. 11, appendages. What? Okay. Okay, and then if you wanted to, on the back, the skeletal system. Now this would be the same in all male and female. Skeletal system. Provide structure. Provide structure, support, and protection for the body. Okay, much like it does for you and other animals. Okay, and if you don't need to write that down because you can remember what a skeleton does, more power to you. Okay, you can take a 30-second break, stand up, touch 3 red things in the room, get back to your seat, and we'll move on. 3 red things in the room. What's up, dude?
One more red thing.
Red.
Oh,
I got 3 red.
touch.
What's up?
Oh, I need this one first.
Okay.
I can't read it from there.
Okay, but you should have. Did you label the? You label it on the. Okay, so that's what we're doing right now. Yep. Sure. That's good. Okay, good. 30 seconds is up. We're moving on. Okay, we're moving on to letter D. Okay, letter D is the nervous system. The nervous system. And it contains 3 main parts. There are lots of different nerves. Okay, but it contains 3 main parts, and you too have a nervous system. And what this does, and I want you to write this up there, is it controls all the other systems. All the other systems would not be able to exist or do anything without the nervous system because it's the brain. All right, the brain, we have a spinal cord, which has nerves in it. And then 14 is peripheral nerves, and this is misspelled, so I will fix that. That should say peripheral. Peripheral nerves, which travel to each of the frog's limbs. As you can see, it roughly is going to each limb. Peripheral nerves. Yes, Aiden?
Looks like an upside down guitar.
Guitar,
Looks
that's
like an
what I was
upside down
thinking.
guitar, he says. So the brain, they have many lobes in their brain, as do you. Parietal lobe. Sorry, I should be not talking always. The brain has many lobes in it. Parietal lobe, occipital lobe, olfactory lobe, medulla oblongata, cerebrum, cerebellum. But we're not getting into that. You do not have to get into that. Just label it the brain. Okay. Nervous system. There we go. So the brain controls everything, and it sends messages through the spinal cord to the peripheral nerves, tells those things to act, right? It's kind of amazing how your brain can tell you to do the tiniest little things with your fingers, all controlled by one thing. So,
Looks like it has jaws. I don't know if it's just me that sees that. What does it do? I don't see it.
You mean it has jaws, though? Oh, I think I see.
Like, look at the brain.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So here's my lovely drawing. Somewhat similar. Okay, we have the brain. The big boy. That guy does a lot of work. All right, we're going to make him number 12.
Do the other one.
And we have spinal cord. You also have a spinal cord. All right. That's the big cord that goes down the middle of the frog, right? If you couldn't tell, this is up by the head, right? These are all the peripheral nerves going towards the limbs, excuse me. So here, I'll label that. That's a peripheral nerve. That's a peripheral nerve. If you wanted to, you could say that, too, and that. Those are all P-E-R-I-P-H-E-A-R-A-L, peripheral nerves. That'd be 14. Okay. Any questions on that? Okay. And the function of the nervous system. It controls all other systems. Nothing can function without the nervous system. All right. So on the back here, I'll let you keep looking at that. But for 12, I'm doing brain. If you'd like to label them differently, that's fine. 13, spinal cord. And 14, peripheral nerves. 12, 13, and 14. There was only 3 for that one. Okay. On the back, this is the system, right? Remember, all of these things act as a system. The nervous system. Okay. Who can tell me what the nervous system does? Go ahead, Ava. Controls all other systems. If you want to get more specific, I will help you do that. Controls all other systems. Brain sends messages to spinal cord and peripheral nerves. All right, so we have now done the male reproductive, female reproductive, skeletal, and nervous. We've done 4 systems. Technically only 3 because the reproductive is just one system, but it's different for males and females. Yeah, I can post these on Schoology. Are you writing it down though? Because that would make me sketched out if I just posted on Schoology without you writing them down. Okay, controls all other systems. Brain sends messages to spinal cord and peripheral nerves. Oops. All right, you can take 30 seconds to chill out. Go touch 3 yellow things in the room.
Can I fill my water bottle?
Yep.
It's like yellow.
It's like yellow.
3 yellow things.
Okay.
All right, 5,
Oh, no.
4,
Sorry.
3, 2, 1. All right, we're gonna get started. I know Parker will be on his way back, so he will catch up when he comes back. All right, this is letter E. We are moving on to the respiratory system, and this is spelled incorrectly. R-E-S-P-I-R, respiratory system. Okay, respiratory system. Who can tell me what they think this function might be? Go ahead, Sawyer.
I think it helps with breathing.
Yeah, breathing. Breathing is the purpose of the respiratory system. The exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. So we're drawing the frog here. Here you have nostrils. Nostrils, air can be taken in through them. The glottis, G-L-O-T-T-I-S, is behind the mouth. Okay, it is the opening into the respiratory system. Okay, then we have this tube right here from the glottis. That is the trachea, not the trochea. T-R-A-C-H-E-A. You have a trachea, right? That's your windpipe. Okay, your trachea. These are bronchi. So this tube and this tube, you also have bronchi that lead into the lungs. The lungs are these sacs right here. And they contain alveoli. All right, alveoli help with that exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. All right. So we'll get on to drawing that. Nostrils, just like you have nostrils, you can breathe through those. Glottis, you have an epiglottis that actually blocks and doesn't allow things to get in your trachea. Okay. And then the last thing on there is skin. Why is skin part of the respiratory system here in the frog? Go ahead, Ava. Yeah, absolutely. The skin needs to remain moist in a frog because they can breathe through their skin, and that moistness helps them with the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Okay, So the respiratory system, very important. And you can see these arms are just, they're being cut off. I mean, you don't have to draw all of that. We're more concerned, you know, about the internal respiratory system.
It looks like a ghost.
It does kind of look like a ghost. Boo.
It ain't scary till you say boo.
Okay. Here's my attempt at a replication. And I'll go, again, we'll go over the, this clipboard kind of drives me a little bit nuts, everybody.
Mine looks pretty cool.
It does kind of look like a ghost. All right. So here we have nostrils.
You just take my pencil.
Here we have the glottis, which is behind the mouth. All right. The glottis is the opening behind the mouth that leads into the respiratory system. Here we have the trachea, which leads into these two tubes. One of them is a bronchus. Two of them are bronchi. That is just how you say it plurally. Okay, bronchi, those two tubes. And then we have these air bags, right? Lungs. The lungs contain alveoli. Okay, oops, sorry. And then, of course, you can point to any little pinch here, this skin. Okay, and that's why that's been included. Up here is the, like, this is its mouth opening, like, yes.
So speaking of boo goes, you watched the Boo Brothers before?
The what?
The Boo Brothers?
Have not. Thank you for asking. All right. Nostrils, we'll say 15. Glottis, we'll say 17. Skin, we'll say 16. Trachea, 18. Bronchi, 19. Lungs, 20. Okay. Oops. All right. And I'll put that on the back. 15 was nostrils.
Wait, what was?
16 is skin. 17 is glottis. 18 is the trachea. 19 bronchi. 20 lungs. Okay. Anybody have questions? Need me to slow down, zoom in?
Yeah, you can slow down.
Okay. On the back, for those of you who don't need me to slow down, that's fine. On the back, you could write respiratory system, the exchange, the purpose of this, and you could write all of these if you wanted to, is the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide, aka breathing, right? The alveoli, this is an important one for the lungs that contain alveoli. They remove carbon dioxide from the blood and can collect oxygen. So the alveoli in your lungs, that's what, remember, you need your blood, and blood in frogs needs to be distributed to your body with oxygen in it in order for it to function. Okay? The alveoli is the actual structure in your lungs, the tissue in your lungs that allows you to get rid of that carbon dioxide and take in oxygen. And then your blood is oxygenated, as they say. Okay? Let's see. What else am I looking for?
Dayton, I got a really important question.
Yep.
Like, are you gonna be our art teacher today again?
No.
Oh.
So on the back, respiratory. Let's write. The glottis. A tissue that prevents food from entering the trachea. Trachea is for air, not food. So you have a glottis, okay, that prevents food, right? You ever had something go down the wrong pipe?
Yeah.
You might have been trying to eat it too fast and your glottis couldn't cover. Okay. Let's see.
That's what I mean when they say swallow.
Yeah. Let's talk about the bronchi. Tubes that branch off the trachea and bring that air to the lungs.
My dad has had bronchitis.
Has he?
He has.
Oh. Let's talk about another one. Alveoli. This is a tissue. That removes CO2 from blood and collects oxygen, collects O2 to be distributed by blood and needs to go to the rest of the body. Okay, so that's our respiratory. We still have 1, 2, 3 to go, don't we? What?
We have
3 to go?
G and, yeah, we have 3 left.
Okay. Did you need more paper? Just let me know. I'll get you some more paper. We're getting a lot done today, everybody. Yep. All right. Once you have done what you think you need to do, you can stand up. Go touch 3 green things in the room.
Touch my knee. Yo, you, give me your cat.
3 green.
Oh,
I need something to read. I'm bringing Good.
Oh.
Something green. I've got a question for you. Is this green?
Which I have.
I think it is. Yay, green.
All right, next one. Here we go. Y'all are doing a great job. Thank you. Thank you for sticking with me, doing a great job. We're on letter F. It is titled the excretory system. In the word excretory is the word excrete, which means to excrete waste, which means to get rid of, right? F is excretory system. And here we have, just like in your excretory system, you have a kidney, which removes the waste. Okay, metabolic waste. A ureter right here is this tube and this tube. So here's a kidney, here's a kidney. This tube and this tube lead down to the urinary bladder, which you also have. Contains the urine until it's ready to be excreted. Okay, and then here we have, again, the cloaca makes an appearance, because I told you that it all comes out the same thing, the cloaca, excuse me. Okay, and then, so that is like the non-solid waste, the liquid waste in kidney, right? Over here we have the end of the intestine, the large intestine, leading down to the rectum, which can hold fecal matter. Fecal matter means poop, okay, or solid waste. And then it has an anus, which leads into the cloaca and is to be excreted through the cloaca. Okay, I will keep this, I'll get this back up there, sorry. No. Don't worry about this yet. We'll talk about it.
It's an upside down.
What?
It's an upside down tree.
Oh, I don't know what that means. What?
It's an upside down tree.
Oh,
Yeah, I should see that. With the fence.
Oops. So the kidney kind of looks like a kidney bean, right?
You look short. My legs are broken.
Make you stand up.
Ow.
I just grab you a little bit. Wow.
Only get time. I think I already lost you. I want to take my sister's 4 and she's 50. My age.
Wait, 120.
And like 130. I eat food with everything.
You have a small dogs or a big dogs? Oh, shoot, wait, what flavor of them?
What flavor?
You want flavor of dog, yeah.
Flavor. I would say, you know, but,
Pomeranian?
what is this supposed to say? She-
Pomeranian? A cocker spaniel? Yeah.
Very fluffy. I like Pomeranian.
I know you're nuts.
All right. Here is my attempt. Okay, and here's what I've decided to label them. Okay, we left off at 21, or sorry, 20. So my kidneys are 21. Sorry, this one's a little light. I'll trace over that. Okay, and then we have our ureters here. Our kidneys collect the waste. Okay, the metabolic waste, the pee. Okay, and then the ureters are the tubes that take it down to the urinary bladder. So 22 is ureters, the tubes that take it to the urinary bladder to be stored and held until it's ready to be excreted, which also happens with your urine. Okay, your pee. All right, so 23 is urinary bladder. All right, over here I decided to make the large intestine. This is something separate. This is for solid waste. Okay, the large intestine carries solid waste. That's 24. And then we have down here the rectum, which is a reservoir, a little bit bigger bulge there. This is where The solid waste can be stored until it's excreted through number 26, the anus, into the cloaca, and that's where it's excreted from. Again, cloaca is number 3 because we did that one earlier in the reproductive system. Okay? So you can see how it's all traveling downward, complete excretory system. All right, everybody stand up when you've got, well, actually, you know what? Let's go on to the back. Oh, sorry. 21, we said. Kidneys. 22 is ureters. 23 was urinary bladder. 24 was large intestine. We're getting close. Everybody, 25 was rectum, place where it can be stored, the solid waste. 26 is anus. We did not get to 27, did we? No. And remember, 3 was the cloaca. So that's way up there. Okay. On the back, if you want to talk about the excretory system, the main goal of the excretory system is to excrete waste. Excretory, excrete waste. All right. And we'll go back onto the back, and I'll go through some more specific functions of these things just to help you out. So I'm putting another, if you run out of room, I have plenty of paper. So please do not hesitate to ask me. Okay, excretory. Let's start with kidneys. Thank you. The kidneys. They remove waste liquid from the blood. That's an organ. Okay, and then we have a special one that isn't labeled. These are nephrons. Okay. Tissues. So kidney is an organ. Nephrons are tissues that are specialized to remove the waste liquids from blood. So nephrons are located within the kidney. Okay, these are the special tissues that help the kidney to do its job. Okay, nephrons, if you want to say inside kidney, and they help the kidney to do what it needs to do. Okay. Oh, let's see. We know about the cloaca, right? The cloaca is where everything comes out. So I don't know if I need to write this down because we already wrote about that. This whole system, the excretory system, is about excreting liquid waste. Okay. Let's see. Anything else that I want you to know? I think that's okay. Okay. The ureter is the tube that takes it down. The urinary bladder is where it's held. I mean, I think that should be self-explanatory. Okay, now stand up. Go touch 3 orange things in this room. We have 2 left.
Orange. It's not orange.
Hey, sir, come over here. Wow. Thanks.
Wait, boy, if you don't mind. I'm going.
You have 2 orange things.
Do I? Yeah, your hat and your backpack. I can touch my hat and inside your backpack.
Basically, thank you for very
No problem.
I touched things.
Right. Awesome.
Like one of these.
Wait, that is?
I need the sorry. Sorry.
Things I'm glad.
Yes.
Why don't you just touch your own
Is
head?
it possible to get out of
You just slap or something. So touch yourself.
Ow, that hurt. Like, this is the
Wait, Aiden, did you say this?
Yo, give it cat.
It's supposed to say straight.
Yeah. Me, homies are gonna come to your crib, we're gonna close at 9.
Did you say you did this?
Yeah, we're gonna go sicko mode on you and your family.
I was 47.
And give it the cat.
I was 47.
You want the cat? I've got the cat.
Are you coming up there? That's it.
All right, back to your seats.
Ew, that's really gross.
What? There's a good eraser in there.
I steal pencils.
Yo,
It's like asking me when to pack your mess.
I'm moved, but it.
They got to go. Young tomorrow.
I'm just gonna start crying.
My favorite? Yeah. My least favorite?
Mr. Dayton.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, Vikings.
Yep, I'm gonna. All right, the next one, we're talking circulatory system, and we're exclusively talking about the heart. This has 3 chambers, 2 atria and 1 ventricle, 3 total chambers. Okay.
So.
All right, and here is how it works. Okay. Here's how I've drawn it. Here's your heart. So you can kind of draw like a heart shape, give it another layer, a heart-ish shape, and then you got to be able to separate it into the 3 chambers that we've talked about. Okay, here's one chamber, here's another chamber, and here's a third chamber. These 2 chambers up top are auricles or atria. So that'd be this and this. Now you're gonna have to be able to explain how the blood flow goes. So pay attention with me. And then the last chamber that we're gonna talk about is the ventricle. You have 2 atria and 2 ventricles. The frog only has 1 ventricle and 2 atria. Okay? So it gets a little confusing, but not really when you think about it that hard. Blood is going to come in to these 2 atria. So blood, I'm going to start here. Blood's coming in through the atria.
Wait, are the atria those? Wait, I can't tell.
This is an atria, and this is an atria. I'll shade them in.
Oh, okay.
This is an atria, and this is an atria. I'm darkening them up a little bit. Okay, right here, this and this. All right, does that make sense? Yes? Okay. So the atria are going to be labeled 36. I'm skipping a bunch because I want to save the last one. Yeah, just because. Okay, and the ventricle will be 37. Okay, so, I want to actually kind of do this in red. Because blood is coming from the body. Blood goes into this atrium, coming from the body. It has low levels of oxygen, so I'm putting low O2. Can everybody see that? So my blood is starting here. Well, I'm just saying it's coming from the body in through here. This one, it goes into this atria. This blood is coming from the lungs. If it's coming from the lungs, do you think it has high oxygen or low oxygen? High. So, high O2. I'm trying to make this red as possible. Blood coming from the lungs. So then it's in the atria, right? This red portion. Woohoo, right? Woohoo. Over here we have low oxygenated blood. And over here we have high. Everybody with me?
Yep.
Some of us seem half asleep. Okay. It has one place to go, everybody. It has one place to go. It goes into the ventricle. Uh-oh. Now, guess what? Guess what, Parker? What happens when this blood and this blood go in here? We have low oxygenated and we have high oxygenated. What's going to happen?
There's going to be even higher oxygenated.
Low plus high, they're going to get mixed. Okay? They become mixed in the ventricle. Got it? Everybody with me?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're in the ventricle. Now they have, you see these lines that I've drawn here? Those are valves. They can't go back that way. That's how the valve works. It won't push back that way. See how the valve opens up this way? And you have valves in your heart like that? It opens up that way. It can't go back into the atria. It's going to go up these tubes. Got it? So it gets mixed around. And it goes up this tube and up this tube. We won't get into the names of the tubes. Okay, and then they're going to keep traveling out the tubes. Okay, now this one goes back to the body. Blood goes to body. It's got a medium amount of O2 because it's been mixed, the low and the high. All right, this one going to the right, this is blood goes to lungs. It also, since it's been mixed, it has medium O2. But since it's going to the lungs, it's going to get high O2 again, right? Everybody understand what's going on here. I will go over it again. Okay, and we're running
out of time.
That's okay. We have tomorrow to kind of review before it. So there are only, the good thing about the circulatory system, there's only 3 parts you have to remember. The heart, or sorry, really only 2. You have the atria and the ventricle, right? 36 and 37. Now, the blood flow is where you have to kind of buckle down. We have on the left here, blood coming from the body into this atria, into the ventricle. When it comes from the body, does it have low or high? When it comes from the body, Aiden Stone, does it have low or high?
It has low.
Okay, good. Then it gets oxygenated, or sorry, it goes in, it gets mixed in. All right, and then it goes back out, medium, back to the body. Over here on the right, it's coming from the lungs. If it comes from the lungs, Carissa, do you think it has low or high?
High.
Yeah. So coming from the lungs, it has high oxygen. Yay, we like that. We want to send that to the body. Comes in, but then it gets mixed up in here, right, in the ventricle, and this tube takes it to the lungs. All right. So you see the 1, 2, 3 chambers, these tubes. Okay. Everybody understand what we're looking for there? Okay. Oofda. All right. Let's go to 36 and 37 on the back. Did everybody get a chance to draw that blood flow?
I did.
All right. Sounds like we're kind of hitting a wall.
Why are we hitting a wall?
I don't know. Everybody's like, boom. But it happens.
Yesterday,
36 is atria, 37 is ventricle.
You
Okay.
start from 26 and 27,
36 and
36 and 30.
I know. I said that.
It's a bit too high up, too far up.
I said that, guys and gals. All right. So we're on the circulatory system. The way you remember that is it circulates blood. Okay. What it does, the whole system maintains blood pressure. And circulates blood. All right. Oh, let's see. Da, 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 da. The auricle or atria. Auricles or atria. They are interchangeable. Okay. What these things do, they receive blood, which is a liquid tissue. And they send it to they send it to the ventricle. All right. Let's see. And then you will have to be able to draw how the blood flows. Okay. We are out of time, just about. I'll give you a couple minutes to just relax here. I want you to take this home and to take a look at it tonight. We will talk about the digestive system. That's the final one, and that'll be in section H. Okay. So this is what we have. Oh my.
Should we turn it in?
No, don't turn it in. Because you'll still need to work on it. Unless I guess if you want to, you can.
Well, it's due at 7:50 tomorrow, so should we turn it in now?
Sure. We're gonna go over it tomorrow too, and so you know what? I'll change that due date right now to like something else. Let me look. We'll make it 9:50. All right. Okay.